Hi everyone, I'm Ali. In today's video, let's take a look at how to do business according to ancient Chinese wisdom. Let's learn from the wealthiest man from Chinese history on how he managed his wealth. If you want to become a successful business person, you have to be generous. In ancient China, people used measuring instruments such as sheng or dou to sell rice. It looks like this bowl, except it's much larger in size. So if you want to buy 1 sheng of rice, the seller will fill it up all the way to the top and then flatten it to make it even. But then most merchants would add some extra rice on top as a little bonus for the customer. And because every seller would do the same thing, a saying, 无商不奸, was created, meaning all merchants give pointy tops. This was a common practice not just among the rice merchants. Textile sellers would give 3 extra inches after measuring a whole yard of fabric. Oil and vinegar sellers would give an extra spoonful at the end. So giving the customer a little extra, a little bonus, has been an industry standard in ancient China, and it certainly helps the business in the long run. There's obviously no need to stress the importance of this point. It's also true in ancient China. Chinese merchants believed that they would lose luck and fortune if they cheated the customer. And if they dared to do it in large amount, then their lives would end earlier. There were many stories of how ancient Chinese merchants sacrificed their own profit for other people's sake. For example, there was someone named Chen Ce. He bought a mule that couldn't be saddled and therefore was useless. Chen didn't want to sell it to others, creating trouble for someone else, so he kept it in a shack to wait for it to die naturally. Chen's son and business partner, however, covered up the problem and secretly sold the mule to a traveler. When Chen found out, he rushed out and chased down the traveler, explained the situation, and took the useless mule back. There's another story of someone named Zeng Shuqing. He once imported some pots to trade in the north, but a natural disaster just broke out and there's no way of selling pots in the north anymore. One day, a businessman asked to purchase his pots in full. Zeng gave all the pots to him and accepted the money, but before they closed the deal, Zeng asked him, "Where are you planning on selling these pots to?" The businessman replied, "I'm planning on doing what you were going to do." After hearing that, Zeng said to him, "How can I not tell you about the situation and help you prevent potential losses?" So Zeng told him about the disaster in the north and called off the deal, despite him being in extreme poverty at that time. The poet Li Bai wrote a famous line, "1,000 gold coins given away, more will turn up again." This is based on the story of Fan Li, a legendary man from the spring and autumn period. He is famous in several ways. First of all, Fan is considered as the wealthiest person in Chinese history. He became extremely rich 3 times and each time gave away everything he had. But before Fan became a businessman, he first spent 20 years helping King Goujian revive his state. After their victory, he turned down the king's offer and left empty-handed. Fan was then offered to be the chancellor of another state. He only stayed in the position for a short while and then gave away all his wealth and also gave up his title. And after that, he stepped away from government roles and focused on doing business. And again, he reached 1,000 gold coins in total assets 3 times within 19 years, but he gave everything away each time. Fan was not attached to his rank and money. He understood that one can only gain if one is willing to let go, so he used his money to help others. And in turn, money flowed like water and came back to him every single time. Here are some words of wisdom from 2,500 years ago. Confucius said, "Wealth and honor are what people desire. If they cannot be obtained in the proper way, do not dwell in them. Poverty and lowly rank are what people hate. If they cannot be avoided in the proper way, they should not be avoided." Ancient Chinese people believed in gods and karmic retribution. If something belonged to them, it would not be lost even if it was stolen from them. But what they earned in an unethical way would not stay and would ultimately cost them. What do you think is the most important principle in doing business? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be making more videos about traditional Chinese culture and universal values, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to learn more. I'll see you next time.